Hello, people. Welcome back to another episode of BNR. 10 o'clock. You know what time it is. It's the BNR time. But you know what? We're not 10 minutes late because there's been a massive civil war. And Avi's been chucked out of the channel. And Ben has made his fucking way in. But you know what, Ben? I'll come straight to you, man. We talk a lot. I know you're in touch with Gene as well.
Yeah.
And the only reason why this debut has taken about 10 million years is because you're in Dubai. And when you come and you're always watching the game, you're always going to the game because you want to make the most of it. And sometimes you fly from Dubai to bloody all corners of the world because you want to see the Reds play all over Europe. So fair play to that. And honestly, I watch you sometimes a lot on YouTube. And first of all, I have to credit your effort. Not just today, because I think this is your third show in about 4 or 5 hours. Is that right?
It is, mate. It's a good job I had an afternoon nap, put it that way.
It coincides with Liverpool having a bit of a nap these days in the afternoon, doesn't it? But it's a big welcome. It's your debut. It should have happened a long time ago. And the only reason, like I say, it hasn't happened is because of the timings. And I just saw you on Anfield Index today. And I thought, you know what? Let's get Ben on. And luckily you had an afternoon nap. And here you are. It's a big welcome. You don't need an introduction. You come from the proper Liverpool space and you speak your mind. And so you'll fit right in here as well. So, but just before I give you the mic, mate, is if you guys don't know where, you haven't seen Ben, head over to Red or Alive and give them a subscription and follow all the great work that they're doing. They're really, really upping the ante in terms of the content that they're providing. And it's a really good time as well, when sometimes, especially for the guys who travel and commute to and from work, they're always 6 and 7 in time in the UK, but it's a big welcome. The only negative is, Ben, it could have happened in better times where Liverpool were playing some good football, but it is what it is, and we're here to discuss it. But it's a big welcome from me and the rest of us from BNR. How are we doing, bro?
Oh, mate, you know, it's good to be on with you. We've been trying to sort it out for a while. But yeah, well, the numbers have increased on our channel, and that tells you something about the football team, doesn't it? We became the new AFTV, the Liverpool fan base, haven't we? But no, look, as I say, mate, you know, my work's in Dubai, but I go to match all the time, so I'm back and forth. And as I say, having afternoon naps. Liverpool are having naps, and, you know, if you struggle to sleep, put it this way, you're sleeping now watching the Reds, but you know what? Something's going to turn, hopefully. A little bit of luck's going to come our way. It's been a hard watch, and the problem is it's hard to see it turning around at the minute. So, but boys, it's good to be with you. So I'm excited.
100%. Gene, I have to ask you, even I talk to you about 10 million times a day.
It's my second show today, boys. Second show today, unlike someone who's their first show today.
And with proper content creators today, and yeah.
I'll let you know.
Gene's on his third show, Gene's on his second show, and it's all right. I come.
No, we've got one lazy basket on this side over here.
Ben, look, we're going to talk about what's happened with Liverpool, what's going to happen with Liverpool in the next couple of months, what's going to happen with Liverpool and the transfer window come this January and come this summer. But I want to on BNR, because a lot of people might have not know your opinion. I want to know your opinion and what your feelings are as to what was right and what's gone wrong. I know you need about an hour, but try to summarize it.
I'm doing a scroll in it of like all the points. Look, you know what? Are you talking about the summer?
The summer and this season, yeah. I guess it overlaps, doesn't it?
Look, I think I know everyone's pointing fingers at the minute who they think's wrong and who's right. I think you know, this week is Hughes and Edwards, isn't it? You know, they're the ones getting a bit of the brunt of it at the minute. I just think of it this way. Look, they brought some unbelievable talent. They are short in a few areas. As we speak all the time, left wing being one of them, centre half is definitely one. You know, if they would have brought a centre half in, there's less of a cock up on Hughes and Edwards' side, for instance, because bloody hell, that was another tool to slot to hammer. I just think for me, Asim, you can't have a drop-off like we've had. Jurgen Klopp was, you know, he was a unicorn of a manager, but the drop-offs were never like this. And I had arguments with people the other day. Someone said to me, "Oh, well, were you one of the ones that were saying get Klopp out when he lost 6 in a row?" Mate, there was no fans in the ground. Can you imagine if this team didn't have fans in the ground? You know, and I think it's just... look, I understand plans probably got disrupted in the summer with, you know, the passness. Diogo, obviously, rest his soul. I'm just disappointed. Do you know what? The players don't get away from it either. I think they've let the Diogo's memory go down. I think they've just rolled over, and I can't handle that. And that's why I think now, mate, the club needs a fresh voice, an interim to the end of the season. I don't think we can keep having this chat as he coming or going, the manager. You know, it's no good for anyone. You know what I mean? And it's not good for the players.
Ben, does he deserve it? And, look, I'm going to play devil's advocate as well, but does he deserve the chance to turn it around? At the end of the day, only about 6 months ago, he bought us number 20.
He did, but he didn't really do much, did he? To a top team that was probably 3 years in the making from Jurgen leaving it, you know, to him. It's tough, mate. I understand people want him to turn it round, but if we're being truthful about it, it's kind of kicking the can down the road now. Are we going to see a drastic change with the football? Probably not, because to me, it goes the match like you boys do as well. You know, he looks like a fella terrified to lose his job, and that's why the football's gone the way it is. He is not going to risk playing the Chiesas that he doesn't trust. He certainly won't play the kids. So, you know, Liverpool, I look at that goal that went in, the second goal at Fulham, boys.
Yeah.
And any other time, then players are bursting out of the box to close him down, but they've resorted to the negative dropping in the box. Mate, they may as well have sent tents up because they weren't willing to leave overnight. You know what I mean? They were happy to camp in front of that goal. And you're looking football, boys, and you know, I just think they're a reflection of the manager, unfortunately. To me, they don't look like they work hard, and I'm looking at him like that as well, because the tactics are sloppy, and they look like they don't train. They don't look fit. So there's so many things wrong, mate. But in my opinion, there's no way this drop off should have happened.
Gene, we've had this conversation millions and millions of times over the last couple of months, and you know, we've mentioned a lot of the stuff that Ben has just mentioned, but one of the things that's really surprising to me is we give these lads a month off, especially someone like McAllister. They were in Ibiza, you know, on the piss, coming back on the weekend, playing a footy game for 90 minutes and then pissing back off. And then this happened. But the problem, the manager needs to take responsibility. Look, Richard Hughes, Ben mentioned it, that he needs to take responsibility for the depth of the left wing, the depth in the centre-back. And you just watch how City act in this January window, and you just watch how the intent they show as well. But the biggest problem I see is if you're going to give them the months off, you need to make sure that these boys are on it from minute one in the upcoming season. And although they were getting results, you could see at Liverpool, there's too many problems. They were too open, a million things, and we were relying on moments of magic and 96-minute winners and something stupid like that on consecutive weeks. But you look at these players and they just don't look fit. Come the 70th minute of the game, whether it's Wolves, whether it's Palace, whether it's Leeds, Liverpool look the second best team. And you've been saying it, Gene. Wait till you play the better teams and the fitter teams and the more physical sides as well, who can play the football on the ground as well. Then watch. And it's kind of scary, isn't it?
It is kind of scary, and I completely agree with what Ben said. Does he really see Arne Slot this team able to turn our fortunes around? I can't see it. I couldn't see it 7-8 weeks ago when we were shit. Even though we've got the results recently, I still can't see it. And we're sat here I said, like you've just mentioned, January, Feb is high time. You've got Newcastle, physical, dominant team that we've always struggled against their physicality. Nottingham Forest, I know they're not playing well, but they always give us a game. They beat us fucking 3-0 at Anfield. You've got Arsenal in a couple of days. Yeah, you've got to travel to Marseille, difficult tie. City at home. This is all in 5 or 6 weeks, boys. And I've always said it. You will see how good this Liverpool team is. No, I was actually wrong. You're going to see how shit we are. That's what you're going to see over the next 5 or 6 weeks, because all of this 5 or 6 games that you've seen recently has literally sugarcoated the results, sugarcoated the performances, and sugarcoated our season, sugarcoated that we're sat in 4th place right now only because the teams that are behind us have been dog shit, number one, and number two, this league hasn't been good enough. And you mentioned them 5 games at the start of the season. That's what saved our season right now. Is them 15 points that we got from them first 5 games of the season. That's what saved us. That's the only thing that saved us. And if we don't act in January, which it doesn't look like we are from the news that we're getting in regards to Guehi, and obviously Semenyo's gone, and the news coming out from some journals, and Ben will give us some information as well that, you know what, it doesn't look like we are going to be in the market. Missing out on Marc Guehi, I've mentioned it before, it's fucking gross misconduct, mate. They need sacking for him if they don't get him in Jan. It's as simple as that, boys. There's no sugarcoating it. They need sacking because it's plain simple. Anybody can see it. This team is crying out for a defensive, at least a player in the defensive line. And Marc Guehi is perfect because he can play across the front three. Sorry, the back three. Why would you not say let him go, let him stay until January when the likes of City are in for him? Makes no sense. The player was ours. We had him. Just go in January and go and get him. It doesn't make any sense. And I'm telling you, look, you'll see in the next 5 or 6 weeks, by Friday, we could be 6th on goal difference. It'll be a different feeling then, boys. We're just okay right now because we're sat 4th and it looks pretty. It's not going to look pretty when we're sat in 6th. There's a possibility we will be sat in 6th. So look, Ben, I'll be honest with you. I'm in a way done, but not done of the season, mate.
It's like the Premier League's done, isn't it? Because you know how I look at it? You know when the McAllister quotes that came out the other day, they were all looking at the bit at the bottom whereby it was like the dig at the manager. But it was, for me, the bit that I looked at where it was a bit concerning is he went, well, we look like we're not going to win the league. And yet he is right. But his performances look like that. I just think they'll give up in the league. And what will happen is, we've seen it before, they'll play shit until about 7 games left when they've been told by the club, get the fuck out there and get top 4 or we are finished for the next season. Because let's be honest, they've accumulated, speculated to accumulate with the big sponsors. They're going to have targets that Liverpool have to meet. Liverpool can't get Adidas a 10-year deal locked in and then go out Champions League the next year. Adidas would be like, what the fuck's going on here?
And there'll be some clauses in that as well, man.
Mate, they pay one of the highest wage bills. What's going to happen next year? So, mate, I don't think we realise, like, the problem that we've got now is, and this is why I believe they need to make the call and just get rid of the manager, is the other two, I can't even believe we've been drawn into the crap with Man United and Chelsea, and both of them have beat us this year. Like, how's that happened? Both have just changed manager. Well, I don't know what the scenario with Man United, but if they get a bounce, there's no guarantee Liverpool get top 4 because Liverpool aren't pulling up trees. You know, Gene, you've just said it there. We've just played all the shitty games. Now we're about to step into the real world and start playing some decent sides. We've got City coming up. There's Sunderland away. That's going to be tough.
Oh, I forgot that, mate. That one.
Mate, we've just spoke off here about struggling to break teams down. We've got Burnley coming up. So I've said it on my show, right? I don't hold back. It's not that I'm negative. I'm not usually like it, but you've got to call it for what it is. Liverpool have been a disaster this year. Title or not in 2025, it's been a dark year for Liverpool with the tragedies, cars going through the parade and all that stuff. But my God, mate, it's like the football was even crap a bit last year. So this is not new. What is it? 5 wins in 15 recently for Slot. Come on now, standards have dropped. People, you can't just kick a can down the road. Like, I'm not being funny. Do you know what I think needs to happen? I think they need to get rid of him. Whatever they do with an interim, everyone's got their own opinion on it. But then at least we can go to whoever comes in, they can go to them players. Every one of you are playing for your Liverpool careers now. You've got rid of the other fella. And the crowd won't accept it then. And I'm at the point now, if they can't do it, just fucking get rid of them in the summer. I don't care now. It is what it is. Liverpool cannot have another drop-off after winning a title. Because I'm telling you, the way the money is spent in these leagues, I tell you what, FSG are probably like, fucking hell, we finally spend money and this is what happens. We're like the only club who spends 450 and gets worse.
It can only happen to us. It can only happen to us. And those goals at the weekend, that screaming from Reed, it can only happen to us as well. Ben,
beach balls fucking knock balls in and everything does make me cares.
there's 637 of you in the building, and it's only been 50 minutes in. Please like. And I got a graphic from Gene. Gene was busy today. He did a show, and he also did a bit of analysis, and he went on the back office of YouTube on our account, and he sent me a graphic. 57% of our watchers don't subscribe. And that's not good enough.
I found that fucking weird. When I saw 47, when I saw 47% of our watchers are not fucking subscribers from yesterday night's show, I was like, so half of the people on this fucking chat right now that are Choto are not subscribers. Come on, man. That actually pissed me off a little bit. Not gonna lie. I was like, come on, man. We give you daily content. The least you guys can do is smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. And guys, another thing, don't just fucking subscribe to ours. Ben's got a channel as well, Red or Alive. There's 630 of you in here. At least go and do the good thing, man. Go and do the good thing. Go and subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to both. And you know what? Big up to Ben, because you know what? Like Asim mentioned earlier, we wanted to get him on because we know me and Ben get on because we're all more or less on the same sort of we're the same sort of passionate sort of fun behavior. So, guys, please make sure you subscribe to the channel as well.
We're winners.
Yeah, everyone will fucking win, man. I've waited 30 years and won a couple of titles.
Let's be honest, like, for the people that saying, why are people being negative? Not us here, I'm just talking in general. You know, no one wants to talk shit about their own club. Make no mistake about it. But if you're going to just kick a can down the road, there's only so... Do you know, I can deal with shit performances, boys. I can deal with getting beat. I go to matches, so I know what it's like there. And there's nothing worse leaving the ground. And, like, you know what the feeling is when you're a late winner. But, you know what? 1 or 2 games of playing shite is fair enough. This has gone on for how long? Do you know what I mean? So, to think that it's just going to drastically turn around for this team, there's not a chance. We've played footy, you know what I mean? It's not going to happen.
Ben, you mentioned, like, we need to get rid. If you were Richard Hughes right now making the call, what would you do then in the interim?
To be honest, mate, I think it's a short-term fix, isn't it? So, look, it's not that I want him in, and not that I think it's going to drastically think he's the best manager around. I just think Steven Gerrard with Heitinger, or even a Dirk Kuyt around the club, someone that knows what Liverpool's about, just pick this crowd up. Do you know what I mean? And I think the club is fan base so disconnected. We need to get together again and huddle up. Let's be honest, the Liverpool crowd is like no other. Teams are petrified to step into the Liverpool pitch. Let's be honest, right now, fucking hell, they're made up to walk out at Anfield, aren't the opposition teams? No. Teams are usually 1-0. They're beaten before the kickoff. Not at the minute, though. But at the end of the people are thinking, you know, Gerrard being the right person. Who else is an interim? Do you know what I mean? Who else is he? And I think the fans would probably get behind it a bit more, because if the crowd are up, surely the players have got to get up a bit more. But if there's other options, it is what it is. I think the club needs to have some time to figure out who's the best man for the job, because they can't go down an Arnie Slot route again with a lack of experience. Do you know what I mean?
Gene, you've been wanting Xavi. Any links? There was some talk about Xavi. You were having a conversation today with some Man United fans, and didn't they want Xavi or?
Yeah, the United wanted Xavi. I think this is going back a year or two ago. But obviously that didn't materialize. Look, I'm a big fan of Xavi. I like the way he plays football. I think he did an unbelievable job at Barcelona, considering they couldn't even sign a player. You know, he came in when they were, you know, in the shitter sort of thing. You know, he won them a title, steadied the ship a little bit, and then obviously he didn't have the best of seasons when he came, I think second or third. And then, you know, obviously he had to leave, and I don't think he's had a job since then. But we need somebody who's got that know-how, wants that plays football the right way. I can't watch this football, boys, honestly. And you know, as much as I give Slot credit for winning the title, and I really do, guys. I give Slot a lot of credit for delivering us that title. Last year, when we needed to get... and I don't want to go back to Jurgen Klopp, but Ben, I'll be honest, there was times when we came back in games last season, I felt it was a Klopp type of comeback, where, you know, we're going for it. We're actually going for it. and I'm not taking credit away from here the slot here, but I felt as though it was a Klopp sort of comeback, not a Slot sort of comeback, because I've seen a Slot sort of comeback now over the last this season, and we've not really seen it by the first few games. And now with Xavi Hernandez, I'm a big fan. If we were to get him, I'd be very happy. Even if it was to bring in an interim, like Ben mentioned, if it's a Gerrard or somebody else. But one thing I definitely agree with Ben Asim is there is such an unbelievable divide amongst the fan base. You go online and you see it. It's like this. It's chalk and cheese right now, man. It's
Gene, is Xavi an interim option? I know you're going to give him the long
Xavi's not an interim option. I'm saying if we get Xavi, he'll be for a longer period.
All right,
but if he's not available, then it has to be an interim. But Ben, if he's a Gerrard till the summer, I'll be okay with it because I think he will unite the fan base. But I don't want Gerrard to get the job on a permanent, and I know you agree with that because in the summer, guys, I really want us to go and get one of the big boys, man. And when I say big boys, I mean Nagelsmann, Luis Enrique. Look, there were some links today. Obviously, it's been quashed. I think before we did the thumbnail, I think news broke that it's not. Yeah. It's not true, and he's probably going to sign a new contract, and that's what I heard from the one of the biggest bloody PSG accounts that it looks closer that he's gonna be signing a new contract. So he looks like he's out of the equation, although he's everybody's number one. Me and Ben were having a private conversation about him, saying if there was one manager we'd get, it was him. But if he's not available, there are still some really good managers, and I think Liverpool's board, Asim. Number one choice has always been Xabi Alonso. I've always felt as though he's their number one target. They missed out on him, obviously, because he went to Real Madrid. Yeah. I think he is number one target. And if he comes available in the summer, because obviously the writing's not on the wall, but he's struggling at Real Madrid, I think Liverpool will make their move for Xabi Alonso, regardless of us getting top four.
Ben? Xabi Alonso?
I agree. Look, I'll be honest, if they sacked Alonso tonight, Slot is probably gone tomorrow. I agree. I think they like the fact that it was obviously the top choice before Arnie Slot. Let's be real.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think now they'll be happy with how it's gone because Xabi won't be jumping ship to Real Madrid, will he? So if they get him, they can probably look at it as to say, well, we've got a big long-term plan for him. Obviously, it's hard to get the right manager in the middle of a season. Teams are still in Champions League, etc. And Liverpool have got to be in the market for a top-draw manager. I can see a few comments, people saying about the yes man situation.
Yeah.
Lots of yes man because he's the head coach. But you've got to remember, some of the managers that have been during FSG's tenures weren't all yes men. Do you know what I mean? Some spoke up. Jurgen Klopp certainly wasn't a yes man. And at the end of the day, you've got to go with the proven facts of the recent years. They have to have a manager who's got the best he could possibly get, man management skills, and more importantly, is emotional. We are emotional. And if you are cold, you've got zero chance. I can tell everyone in the chat now, they would pay all their money to have a manager on the side of the pitch jeering the crowd up after a tackle. You're not getting that from the manager now. And I think that's what I'm saying. They're a carbon copy of him.
Yeah. So, Ben, question to you then. One thing that, and Asim's spoken about this on numerous occasions, is if you're a Liverpool manager, wouldn't you want to G up the crowd? Because that's what's going to get the fans together with you. When we're struggling, to get the fans behind you, we look like flipping half asleep. Honestly, we went to the Brighton game only a couple of weeks ago, and it was a better atmosphere because we actually won that game. But still, I haven't been this season that many times because of obviously the watch-alongs. Honestly, mate, I was like, it's like going into a different ground in regards to the atmosphere and some of the fans because it's shite. And let's be honest, it has been shite because we're not giving, the manager's not giving off any energy. The team isn't giving off energy. The players aren't giving off any energy. What can the fans do? Nothing. It feels that we need to live off something, live off a tackle like you mentioned. Bradley's tackle, that was like celebrated like a fucking goal. Yeah. This is what we need, something like that. But we're so fucking timid in every single department right now.
No, it's true, mate. It's they just look short of ideas, and they set up poorly from the beginning, mate. And you mentioned about, like, you know, certain things like Klopp did. One thing for sure, mate, if Liverpool were playing bad, Klopp would get them at half time and they'd come out a different animal. How many games did we come out and batter teams?
Yeah.
Now we get worse. And, you know, it is what it is. Only Fulham game, we looked a little bit better. And I mean, a little bit better. It was shite.
Yeah, 100%. But
Ask a question to you, though. You've asked us the question is, what would you do? Yeah, what would you do in terms of interim? If we had just say we got rid of Slot, who would be your interim choice? And obviously, I think you've been a big fan of Nagelsmann.
yeah, but look, all these Alonso's, Nagelsmann's, this and that, they're not realistic in January, just like you guys have touched on. But I would be happy with Stevie, but I would also want someone, you know, when he went to Rangers, is that lad who I can't remember his name, but he was basically his coach and his tactical mindset. I'm not saying like, look, he didn't have a clue about football, you know, but I don't see Stevie as like a thinker. I don't see him. He led by example. But the good thing about him, he went to Villa and Saudi, and you get the sense that he wants to learn. So if he's going to come in, I want someone to come in to, you know, support him. You mentioned Thiago would be brilliant. He's a thinker. He's a thinker. Because at the elite level, look, we can't just go all out, because Klopp was at the top in terms of bringing out the best out of you. And at the end of the day, look, he did have the likes of Mane and Bobby and Van Dijk and all these guys, great players in their peak. And as soon as Fabinho was done by the age of 28. That is the downside of that type of football, is you do need a squad. But we know why. The reason why is Jurgen Klopp didn't have a squad is because, you know, he had a completely different type of budget to what we've been, you know, seeing in the summer with Slot. So I wouldn't mind, but I would love a combination, a duo of a Thiago and Gerrard. Gerrard has the aura. The moment he comes into a changing room, that Stevie G's just walk. He doesn't need to say anything, but he knows the club, he knows the standards, and I think he would raise, you know, the players, because at the moment when the structure isn't good, what you need is a set of lads, whether it's the team or the squad, to make sure they go out that pitch and roll the sleeves up. But look, I'm also worried at the same time saying that, because, you know, at least with Jurgen Klopp, the moment he came in that first game away to Tottenham, even though we drew 0-0, you could see the identity from day one. Day one, players dying for him. Lallana coming off at 70 minutes because he couldn't hack it, but, you know, he was dying for that hug at 70 minutes, wasn't he? Because he was shagged. But all the players who stayed on that pitch continued until the 90 minutes. So the scary thing is even if he wants to play, and you just touched on it, that last season he didn't rely on Kloppism, if that's a word, but it happened, whether it's the game state took over or the Anfield crowd took over for 15-20 minutes. Brighton example at home is a perfect example. The game took over, the state took over, the Anfield took over, and we won the game, and we scored a counter-attacking goal. All those things that I've mentioned just now, nothing happens like that anymore. We have to play about 1 million players in midfield, control the game, and it's just side to side, side to side. No one is wanting to, bar one or two, maybe Wirtz and Curtis in the last month or so, wants to play the pass. So as much as we want to see a Jurgen Klopp type of style just to get us out there, and until we see some light at the end of the tunnel and come and crawl to the back end of the January, where we maybe make some signings, but more importantly, get into the Champions League at the end of the season. The scary thing is he can't even rely on that anymore, because he simply doesn't have the players. And the one or two, the good players that we have in the Ekitike and Wirtz, let's be honest, they can't last but after 70 minutes. So, you know, if there's only one or two problems with Liverpool right now, we'd say, okay, how do we sort this out? But there's about 10 problems. That is the scary thing.
I don't know what's happened, but this chat has gone absolutely.
I'm going to say this is some chat, this, isn't it?
It's gone fucking mental, mate. I didn't want to stop you halfway through. Fucking, where's the admin? Where's the mod? Stop spamming. What's fucking going? Everybody saying Gabe, Fabrizio, fucking Bomber we got played. Gay quote. What's happened? Somebody put the fucking.
It's just 6 minutes ago. It was a Semenyo. Here we go.
So what's the? Yeah. So okay, I'm not bothered about Semenyo. Why are they mentioning Gay?
I think Anfield sector. Josh is put something out.
Has he?
Glasner spoke about Guehi. Oh, for fuck's sake. Is this chat a load of shit? Check
No,
sector.
he spoke. Glasner
Check
spoke.
sector.
Shall I quickly
Go ahead.
Go on.
There's the situation. Glasner Guehi. There's a situation that the contract ends in the summer, and if somebody is coming, there will be a moment when the club says, now the financial issue is more important than the sporting issue. We have to do it and try to get the best. That's why I'm always saying I don't know, because this is different. There will be a threshold where the club has to say sell. If the player says I want to leave and the money is above the threshold, it will happen. I'm not so naive not to know that if a massive offer comes from City and Mark wants to do it, it will happen.
City. You mentioned City.
He
Yeah.
mentioned
Didn't
City.
say Liverpool.
Well, maybe.
No wonder they're saying City, then these guys, I didn't even read it.
Yeah. Well, maybe the question, maybe we're missing a bit of context. What if the journalist asked him directly in terms of his link to City?
Oh, yeah. Fair play.
I think Liverpool have put themselves in a position now whereby I'm made up. That's come out, by the way. I'm made up because
you know why? We have to act, and if we don't, I'm actually glad it's come out. But
How do you read it? How do you read it?
I think it puts Liverpool in the corner now. Regardless, get off your asses and fucking see how much they want. You've got no choice, Asim. The money, there's no fucking question as to wait. The fucking money was there. Go and put it on the table again. Get this lad in and let's try and rescue our season. Because let's be honest, it's fucking the walls are caving at Liverpool. And if anyone starts saying undefeated, just fucking go and watch someone else. It doesn't matter. The fucking games are terrible. Undefeated.
But I'm not. You know what, Ben? I'm with you. I'm actually glad, right, that this has come out. That, you know what, Glasner's come out and said it. Look, they want a war. They want a bidding war. So they're actually letting it out as well, saying, okay, we're letting it out. He's mentioned City on purpose, saying, okay, we're going to put that out there. It's two of the biggest clubs in the world right now, one of the two of the biggest clubs in the world right now that need defenders. Let them fight it out, even if it's... And for them, they're thinking 35 million. We're going to get that money. We are going to get that money. Because both teams are willing to pay 35 million for Marc Guehi in January. You know, I'm not saying, look, I don't think both clubs are stupid to go up to like 50 million. But you know, whatever the fee was, 35 million, both clubs will pay. And I think then it's going to boil down to the wages, right? I think City will probably pay more, but then it's going to boil down to, Ben, is if Marc Guehi looks at it now and says, okay, I wanted to go to Liverpool, and he comes to us like Caicedo chose Chelsea because they were in for him for a lot longer. Guehi will hopefully choose us over Man City. But for that to happen, guys, we have to fucking make a move.
Mate,
we didn't make a move on the Semenyo one, Ben.
I don't think he's the favoured option anyway, to be honest, mate.
Okay.
Do you know with regards to the forward line, when obviously, you know, with how it's gone, I personally would have waited. Let's say Isak was still fit. Obviously now it's not ideal. We're short and the manager won't play two players who are fit in Chiesa and Rio. I personally would have just waited and rolled it out till the summer because I just don't know where we're going with this front line, Asim, to be honest. I couldn't even tell you where we're going with it. It's hard, isn't it? Now, yes, Semenyo looks like a loss to the club. I do think there's better out there personally. You know, the Barcode, we've spoken some Barcolas, etc. But you know, with regards to this Marc Guehi, this is where people can go on their agendas or kick off at Hughes and Edwards. Because if Liverpool don't get him in January after that comment, because let's be honest, that's a Glasner who's not asked about Palace anymore. He's going on his move soon, so he doesn't give a shit. Liverpool have no choice but to put the money on the table, because if they don't and he goes to Man City, fucking hell, can you think what the atmosphere will be like within the fan base then? So they have no choice but to try and go for him.
But Ben, do you think because we were discussing this yesterday, look, maybe they just treated Guehi as an opportunistic signing and maybe seen as a replacement. Maybe with the Konate situation changing, but one is there, and maybe whatever you think of Guehi and Konate, if Konate is playing well, I think Guehi, with all due respect, would find it difficult to get into the first team if Konate is playing well. But obviously, Konate's form has been shy, just like so many other players. But is there any guarantees? Many people who hear me say that, they'll probably say, okay, is there any guarantees for him to play at City? So then you can say, okay, then it's up to the player where he wants to think that what's the best chance of me getting into the team, whether it's ahead of Guardiola or Diaz or Kanate or Van Dijk. The Liverpool situation could help and aid Guehi with Kanate leaving in the summer. But do you think Liverpool have always treated Guehi as an opportunistic type of signing? That, look, it has to happen on our terms.
It's really strange how to understand what's happened with it.
Mm.
Bit of sloppiness from Liverpool, maybe not paying the money that they agreed earlier on.
Guys, sorry, Ben. He goes, Anfield sector, he goes, he mentioned City because he was asked about City, like you mentioned, Asim.
Okay.
This is the annoying thing. Why aren't Liverpool mentioned? It's like they've just tails between the legs and just fucking wandered off. It's embarrassing, really, because you know what? Liverpool look like the only clubs that can't sign centre-backs and number 6s these days. And I know they brought the kids in. It's just Liverpool's luck at the minute that the kid plays one game at Anfield and gets fucking ACL injury. Like, what's the chances of that? But I think with Marc Guehi, no, I think they see him as a top player. And this is why it doesn't, you know, I'm sure you boys have had the talks about it and seen what people are saying, like the manager's not going to get any money. This centre half in Marc Guehi can play for any manager, so it shouldn't even matter.
Yeah.
Just get him in. And I think potentially that's why. I think we can all agree. You know, like the names of Joel Ordonez, etc. Liverpool do like him, of course. You know, it doesn't take a brain to see that Liverpool would like this kid. You know, he's got good experience for his age, etc. But maybe that's why they haven't moved on anyone else, because they're just sussing out this Marc Guehi situation. And I'll be honest, I'll be pissed off if Liverpool don't make a play for him. Because if not, they wrote the season off. And in my opinion, just fuck off with every one of them at the club then. All go because yous aren't arsed and they've took the piss out of us then.
You know, Gene, if there are guarantees of Champions League football, I can, in a very, very small, minute way, understand keeping your powder dry in January and going for your real number one targets. But the problem Liverpool have now is because we fell off a cliff, there's simply no guarantees now. And no matter what, just like the summer, someone told me Rio is the understudy for Gakpo, and I never ever believed it from the first second. I'm not going to believe the narrative that if we don't sign anybody in January, especially when it comes to a winger and a centre back, and the narrative will be is Liverpool have got strength, they can play. Bajitic, who's coming back from injury at centre back, Gravenberch can play there, Endo's come back from injury, because we know that's what's going to be the story, isn't it? 90% of the people, unfortunately, are going to believe it.
And that's the sad thing, Asim, because we're not stupid. But the thing is, Asim, I think it's come to the point now that we're not stupid. The fans are not that stupid anymore, Asim, where you look at this team and think, you know what, Bajic can play there. They fucking haven't played there. Endo can play there. Endo hasn't played one game at centre-back in the league this season. Somebody else can. Then they can't play there. Because when we had bloody 12 players fit for the last 3 or 4 games, none of them played. So that just tells you they're not good enough to play. And the manager doesn't like him. He probably wants them out anyway. I'm not going to believe any of the bullshit that comes out. The truth is we have to go and sign a centre-back, and minimum centre-back in January. Minimum. Because we need 2 in January in the summer then. It's not 1. You need 2. Not 1. So it doesn't make any sense for Liverpool to not make a play. And Ben's right. Marc Guehi, it doesn't matter if it's fucking Areola, it doesn't matter if it's fucking Glasner, Luis Enrique, Cesc Fabregas, it doesn't matter. He plays, you get him for 35 million if you want him, because he can. The biggest thing with him is he can play across the back 3 in the 4 positions. And when he's so versatile that you can play him anywhere. So, and you always need one versatile player. We've been calling out for a player who's good on the ball defensively, can break lines. Fucking bad Kanate, nobody can pass a fucking ball in the back line. and at least he's got that trait. So it's mental that Liverpool don't do any business in Jan. And if Marc Guehi goes to fucking City, man, I'm fucking had enough. I am going to be fucking...
And he's a leader, mate. He's a captain of his club. Liverpool look like a team that they don't want to say boo to a goose. We need leaders out there. Look how... I was watching something today. I can't remember what it was. Do you know in Klopp's team, we had a captain, but there was about 6 other captains on the pitch.
All right.
Look at the state of it now.
100%.
I remember them days, you know.
Yeah.
Flipping,
Honestly,
everybody was a captain.
Fabinho was a captain. Robbo was a captain. Henderson was the
Van Dijk,
captain. Van Dijk. So
Salah,
many.
so many
Mane.
players. Man, they were
Milner.
all captains, man. Milner, so many
Yeah.
captains
Oh,
in that
wow.
team.
Wow. And if
What
you
would-
wasn't a captain, you were still an unbelievable integral part of because you don't not every team is going to have a John Terry type of captain or a Roy Keane type of captain. There's a lot of Steven Gerrard type of captains, and there was a lot of Steven Gerrard type of captains where you just go about your business on the pitch and lead by example. The moment you cross that white line, you make sure you mean business, and it rubs off on you. And that's a lot of the leaders. Yes, you had the Jordan Hendersons, who was a brilliant communicator and had the respect for the changing room, but they were proper winners. And you just have to go back to that famous Amazon production from of Manchester City. Guardiola, arguably the best manager ever, and he was playing Everton away, and he was talking about Liverpool. That just shows you how great Liverpool were and who they were led by. And now at the moment, Sunderland are playing Palace, and they're talking about playing next week at Anfield because they're picking up 3 points.
Only talking about how shit we are now at half time, man.
Oh my God. Let's go to the attack, Ben, because that's fell off as well. I've been talking about the intensity. If you're not playing well, you need to make sure you have lads who can roll up their sleeve, and Liverpool don't have either. If they want to really press, they can't do it. If they want to sit off, they can't do it as well. For me, Wirtz, Gakpo and Salah, in terms of intensity, the quality was there, but you have to give the ball to them, and they won't get the ball. Wirtz had to go literally in centre-back positions to get a feel of the ball. But I want your opinion on some of our stars not performing, because obviously the stars are going to get the headlines, and we know Isak's situation with his preseason, then his injury, came back for a bit, and then got that unfortunate injury as well. But give me your thoughts, especially on Salah and, of course, Florian Wirtz.
Yeah, the Salah one's an interesting one, isn't it? Because
Don't worry, we've got online, mate.
Look, I think, I love Mo like everyone does. He's, especially with working in the Middle East and coming home all the time. And how big he is over here. He's the big dog, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a fair point.
For me, though, I look at Mo and I think he gave so much last year. Maybe it's caught up to him. And it is what it is. Football does. Do you know what I mean? There was no way he was going to get 30 or 40 goals this season. Not a chance. And I think he felt it even towards the end of last season. It caught up a little bit with him. So this year was always about... I said, I think I was speaking to you, Asim, ages ago.
Yeah.
I think this year was always... The biggest task that the manager had was probably getting him out of the side. It was time for the new boys to start carrying on. And that's where I'm really happy with Florian. His kids come in. He could have took the easy route. He didn't. He's come to a Liverpool side, which, especially after winning the league title, when the target's on Liverpool's back, and we've not seen us go back to back, do you know what I mean? Big pressure. And he's took a lot of crap. He's took a lot of shit in the media, and I don't think it's anywhere near. We know a player. Anyone who thinks he's crap, don't watch football. Do you know what I mean? It's not for you. And I think he's been one of our better players lately. And I think this is why I'm getting annoyed with the manager, because he forced him to play the other day after saying about the hamstring injury. And it's made Florian take... In the first half, people were like, he's shit again, he's this, he's that. And I'm like, this kid can't catch a break. Do you know what I mean? But with regards to the attack, mate, it's pedestrian. There is no press. I know Szoboszlai presses, but if you watch them clip... Mate, we used with Klopp, we pressed in threes. 3 attackers, the 3 midfielders behind. It's just one. What the fuck are they going to get from that? Teams are made up to play Liverpool at the minute. One, they're allowed to set up, get back into their shape, and they just leave Liverpool with the ball because Liverpool bore themselves to death that the opposition ends up getting to about 70 minutes with no Liverpool attacks. You know what I mean? It's just it's poor, mate. And this is what I'm saying with regards to some of the attack, mate. This is why I was unsure to bring another forward in, because I just don't know what they plan to do with it. I'm unsure with it myself.
What would your plan to be? Would you want to put all your faith in these fullbacks, play an extra midfielder, go with the diamond as the default formation, with Isak and Ekitike come in back, in Isak's case, I mean, and putting our faith in two big men up top, go old school if you like, or do we go back into the market with proper wingers, and we want to see the likes of Mane and Salah running down the wing and taking men on, just like we've seen it over the last 5-10 years.
Do you know what, mate? Usually I've always got an answer, but it's one that I'm struggling to answer, because when you've got two, I don't think there's a side in Europe you've got two top number 9s, and I think that's what Liverpool have got, because I love Ekatike, but I think in time he'll cause you an issue if he's not starting. He's got that French arrogance in a good way.
Yeah.
And Alexander Isak, look, how we've made him look shit this year, I'll never know. And that's why I can't forgive the manager on it, how he's, the way he's handled some of these players, in my opinion, is poor. Certainly with Florian Wirtz, pulling him out. He didn't even play the big games. And that's something I can't agree with. He's been brought in for them moments. But, I don't really know what to expect, Asim. Personally, I'd like to see us bring a right-sider in and put Barcola out there and have Ekatike just off Isak. It's difficult to say, because then you cause a problem in the midfield.
Yeah.
You can't then play Florian Wirtz, because none of the midfielders in our club can sit behind him. I just don't think we're strong enough. And you've seen that when Liverpool are only getting some sort of a result because there's 4 midfielders out there. The team's flooded with defenders and midfielders. So I really don't know. And that's something maybe that I feel a bit sorry for Slot in that aspect. He's finding it hard to pick the team. If you asked him now what's his best team, he wouldn't be able to tell you, even if they were all fit. I don't know how we get them all in. This is the problem.
And Ben, one of the hardest things I find right now is you've just bought in a number 10, right? When you sign a number 10, arguably one of the best young number 10s in the world, if not the best, the one player that we all will flipping crazy.
Guardiola wanted this kid big time. Do you know what I mean?
So he has to. If you're gonna bring in a player of his caliber, you have to be able to say, okay, this guy's my 10. I'm gonna play my team around this kid. And you have to give him the tools what you feel makes sense for him to work. If he wants to play 2 up top and he's decided that's the way I'm going to play with him in the 10, then okay, then you've signed the right players. Yeah, right now, yes, it's not worked, but because of injuries, fitness, fatigue, all that type of stuff, they haven't played that much. If that's the way you want to go, then at least make sure that number 10 has the tools. Because if you ask me, Ben, I look at this, if Florian Wirtz is in that 10 and you're going to play 2 up top, we need a new midfield. And we need a new midfield. Okay, so Mosley might do a job, but we need 2 midfielders who are going to be good enough to play, like they say, dogs, kutte we call them in our language, that are going to sit and give you that steal.
What's the Arabic for it, Ben?
The dogs is oh fucking hell, mate, you put me on the spot here. This is what I mean. Liverpool have absolutely destroyed my brain now. I've forgot my Facebook password and everything. I've just finished after a minute. Is it Kelb or something in Arabic?
I forgot. I don't know. I'm just thinking. And
your Arabic is better than mine, Ben.
Kalb is heart, man. Yeah. Even I know what Kalb is. You're lying, gay.
It might be Kalb,
It is. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't speak. I see someone there say, "Do you speak Arabic?" No, but I just know that. I don't know how I know that word.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Kalb is dog. Go on. That's Kalb is heart. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
You're proper Arabic. I think there's a better boys in here, man.
Kalb is with the cough, isn't it?
Okay.
The dog
you
with
give me an Arabic lesson.
Kalb, yeah.
Man.
The only words I knew when you bring up that one.
Yeah. So we need
now we know what to call Avi. Go on, Shane.
Yeah, and you have to give him the tools. If Hughes and Edwards want to go down this route, then you really need to give him the tools. If you haven't provided him the tools, then I do feel sorry for Slot in a way. That you haven't provided him with the full tools to carry on. But make no mistake, that doesn't give him the right or the reason to play how shit we've played for the first 20 games of this season, mate. Right? And it's baffling to me. But I think this is why players like Marc Guehi, we need to go and sign these players. We need another forward, then go and sign him, because you don't trust Engamu was only 17. You don't trust Chiesa, right? Salah's on his, let's say 5 months later, man's off. Let's be honest. I think in the summer he's off.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be starting the summer saying, I needed fucking 2 more attackers.
Never just
The-
attackers, mate.
The scary thing is we probably need to spend another 300-400 million in the summer again.
John Henry's nearly had an heart attack here and that.
we nicked his wallet this summer. I don't think we're gonna find his wallet this
That's why
summer.
they haven't bought for the club, because fucking Hughes and Edwards have just spent it on a load of players. The budget.
That is the scary thing. But the thing, when you've got this model, and look, what I would say is the sympathy I have is, but it's not actually. No, I take that back. The problem when you have is when you don't just add and refresh year in year out 1 or 2 options. You don't need a massive 450 million pound reset, then have to get rid of 200 million worth of talent, and then have the need to spend 400 million. This is why we were crying out. We were crying out for the likes of Isak and Wirtz, when Klopp was here. We were crying out for 30-40 million signings. I said it yesterday. We didn't even replace Genie when he went, because we put our faith into a Harvey Elliott, completely different type of player. And we thought, look, it'll be fine playing a midfield without replacing a guy not as good, just as good, and the quality of Genie, but the guy never got injured. So that is the problem. And the shit hit the fan when the likes of Milner and Hendo and Fabinho lost their legs completely together, and then they went on to buy Sobo and the likes of Gravenberch and Endo and who else do we bring? McAllister that summer. When shit is the fan, they think, oh shit, we can't miss out on Champions League football, like you touched on earlier. Let's invest just enough. And look, it becomes an FSG problem again, isn't it? Look, they've done a lot of good things, but it's the same thing where we just need 1 or 2 more, because what we need is, we don't just want to win the league once every 5, 6, 7 years. We want to go and win it 2, 3, 4 times. We want to dominate the Premier League and Europe, because we've got world-class players. And just what Gene said, now you're going into a summer where you have to say, okay, how do you replace Van Dijk? How do you place Mohamed Salah? We've got Isak, we've got Wirtz, but they need to be provided the environment. As good as Salah was, look who he had behind him. Henderson, who never stopped running, and his work rate and his quality overall. I'm telling you now, he still, for me, doesn't get the credit, Ben, he deserves. What the job that he used to do, working tirelessly, has been in that the balancing act between Trent and Salah. Someone has to do the dirty job, and he did it brilliantly. And the problem is now is Liverpool have got too many world-class players on their day, but not enough guys just to roll your sleeves up and provide him the foundation. And this is another problem that I've been talking about the manager, is he just had he's obsessed about breaking a low block, but he forgot how to actually earn the right to play football. And now Liverpool have lost to earn the right to play football, and that's why we get bullied. And that's why you see over the last 4 or 5 weeks is we're playing a million midfielders just to actually cope with the physicality of the league. And look, at what cost? At what cost?
It's crazy. Do you know what? See, it's even got that bad. People in the chat are saying, because I'm in an Arab country, have I got 200 mil to lend the club? Do you know what, mate? We'd have never said during Klopp's tenure we'll be bullied. Never. We bullied everybody because we had an unbelievable jigsaw put together. I'll be honest, mate. I think the midfield needs a real revamp, personally, mate. Wow. I think it's more catered to Europe, isn't it? They're a bit more fluid. The Premier League now, mate, you need the dogs out there. James Milner to do a job out there in our midfield now. Someone who's just going to go and smash someone on the pitch. They don't. When do you never see them slide tackling? You never do. And when they do, they fucking miss the ball.
That is actually bang on. When was the last time you fucking saw a slide tackle from a Liverpool player?
The last time I seen
it. Hasn't got a problem with that.
Midfielder.
Yeah. The last time I seen Szoboszlai slide tackle, he fucking missed the ball and nearly took out slot. Do you know what I mean? And I'll be honest, mate. Like, we had the debate with Szoboszlai, Asim. This is where the fucking manager annoyed me the other day. He fucking shoehorned Wirtz out on the left and put Szoboszlai in the 10. This is the fella that got upgraded in the summer on the number 10.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you do that? It's things like that you've just been talking up Florian Wirtz, he should have been in the 10. Supposedly should have been put out there to press off the left-hand side. And it's things like that where I go, this fella's not good enough for the job. Because if you were, you'd stick to your guns. And like, you know, I think for me, like, look, I'm not his biggest fan, Supposedly, and I know people come after me. It is what it is. I think this season, he has been the best of a bad bunch. I respect him. I think he's a good player. But I think we need a bit more from him. He was brought in to be the Gerrard type, go and win games. We're not. It's just not coming from midfield. But we need the energy. He brings a lot of talent in that aspect. And I think the biggest problem our midfield has got is it needs the next Fabinho in there. Because otherwise, how are you meant to get 3 forwards on with your wingers and Wirtz in the team with this midfield? It's not going to work. It's just not. You've seen it in that Community Shield. Wharton and that other kid just fucking walked right through them all.
Yep. And this is the biggest thing. It's about if we've put our eggs in that number 10 and where we want to go down the Florian Wirtz route, then this is what you have to do. You have to make changes, and you're gonna have to be strong. And if it means getting rid of a few, then so be it. Because we need, like Asim mentioned, it's not about world-class players now. It's about players that are going to make the system work. It's about wingers that are going to give you the power, the pace to go up and down, give you the runners, which is going to enhance the world-class players we've got. It's not about signing every single world-class fucking player. I've seen PSG have Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi, who are 3 arguably the best players in the world. But what we need, they didn't do it. Why didn't they do it? Because they didn't have workout horses. PSG then went, bought players who run their fucking socks off with the quality and deliver every single trophy. We need players who are going to give us quality but work their socks off. And honestly, look, I'm not saying go and just find fucking runners. They obviously need to have quality, still need to be able to play football. But you have to look at which players are able to give you the good, unbelievable energy, unbelievable physicality, but they might not be unbelievably technically. But at least they're technical. That's what they're going to provide for the likes of Wirtz to show. And look, and this is why I don't think Arne Slot will be in a job after the end of the season. I don't think he's able to do what he's able to do what he was supposed to do. And we have been that bad this season, that bad that I don't think any of us can fucking watching a Liverpool games, like Ben mentioned, fucking sends us to sleep. We can't watch this dire shit. And for how long are we going to keep up with it? Once we lose a couple of games, Ben, wait till we lose a couple. Because it's going to come. I'm telling you now, it's going to come. And when it comes, it is going to be fucking anarchy online.
Can I just say, though, he's never built the connection with the fans.
That's his own fault.
And that's why people are like, just go then. People have just, with Klopp, it took a lot for you to want to say, get him out. And no one ever did. He left on his own accord. The club was scared to even consider sacking him. I'm telling you, this is why I believe he doesn't see the season out, because there's only so much the Anfield faithful can watch of this. And I'm telling you, if FSG think they can have the Anfield crowd like that, there's fucking no chance. They'll shit themselves from it. And I said that through the week on my show. I worry that the Arsenal game sends Liverpool into a spiral again.
I've been calling it for a while, Ben. That when we come January, results are going to show. Played 2, drawn 2 so far. Your next trip is the Emirates on Thursday, mate. Let me know how you get on.
And you said it the other day. I watched it on the show, mate. You said, wait till you get knocked out the Champions League and shit like that. There's fuck all to play for then, and it'll just go big.
What? Then people I'm telling you now, these players have got right now. They've got something in their brains, something to look forward to. When you go out of that Champions League, look how it affects us as fans. Yeah, fucking, it's devastating going out of the Champions League. It literally is. I hate the season unless we're going for a title. Yeah, or going for something. Going for the fucking Champions League spot is normal. It's standard. We don't look forward to being in the Champions League. You look forward to winning it or winning a title. That's the truth. When we go out of that Champions League with a World Cup season as well coming up, you watch some of these players. If you think that there was issues with the squad then, watch how they get on closer to the and we have a difficult run in, Ben. United away, who might be challenges for the top 5. We've got Chelsea at home in there as well in the last 4 or 5 games. Anything can happen in them 5. We can lose 2 of them games and miss out on our top 5. It's possible that we can miss out. And who's to say we're going to get that 5th spot? Champions League, we could go out in the next few fucking rounds.
How is this? Because this team can't even put 2 fucking wins together. You know what I mean? And we're expecting them to go, mate, that fucking Man United crowd will be made up to have us coming over there because they'll be like, we are going to ruin your season. They done it with fucking Jurgen.
You did it. They did it. To
They
be
did
fair,
it with
it was that game.
Twice in 2 years. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
they did it. I remember they did.
Couldn't fucking finish our dinner. I remember being at Old Trafford, remember in the cup, and we had 8,500.
Yeah.
And they done that, and it was like from that game, fuck the end of the season.
It did.
That'll be their motto, mate. They'd happily swerve top 4 if it meant we didn't get it. Do you know what I mean? That's how the horrible. But I mean, you know, I do worry for the team. I really do, because they're not giving us anything to go off. And I wish we could all say we're undefeated, but we're playing well. It's going to turn. We all know it's a matter of time before they get beat. And when they get beat, the spiral will kickstart again. And you've just mentioned some of the teams there. Like, I'm going to a lot of them. Fucking, you know what I mean? I just don't know what to say, mate. Honestly, it's sad. And we can't just kick the can down the road because, Gene, you know, with regards to, like, look at what Mac is saying. The league's probably gone now. And that is exactly how he's playing. A few of them are playing like that. So when the Champions League's gone, Liverpool are done then. And that if they go to the Champions League, they probably go. They don't get Champions League because their heads will just drop.
Okay, let's go to the supers. But before that, Nomandic Mo South Africa. I know Mohammed from South Africa, and I think he watches every show, and sometimes it's stupid o'clock. He always messages me, Asim, please go earlier, please go earlier. But he knows now, 9, half 9, 10 o'clock is our time, and when Gene puts the kids to bed, then that's the time when we come on. But big up to Mohammed, and thank you so much for becoming being our member. Bunty Sujit, he says, you guys think last year team win league this year?
I think 100%.
I think so.
100%.
I think so. Ali, always supporting the channel. Thank you so much, Ali, and hope your family and the kids are well as well. He says this collaboration is the one we've all been waiting for. Keep up the great work, chaps. I fear for top 4, if not coaching change. Players need a new voice. Brilliantly put, well summarized. AK, thank you so much for sending this through. He says we're scamming points on Thursday, lads. You never walk alone.
You know what? I hope he's right. I really do, Ben. I really hope he's right, because me and Men were talking about it earlier, Asim, yeah, before you came on, and we were like, you know what? If they score early in the first 15, we're getting it.
Oh, apparently they've got a big banner coming up and all that stuff.
This will be on a fucking slant and everything again, isn't it?
But it's meant to be something, you know, they're treating this game as one of their, you know, title winning games. And you can't blame them. It's Liverpool coming to the Emirates, you know, it'll be under the lights Thursday night. They know they're on 6 ahead. If City drop tomorrow and they win, it's done. But it will be a massive game for them to beat Liverpool, especially we've done them this season as well. So that game that they lost at Anfield, they're going to be up for it. And if they get one early, Asim, honestly, I fear for us. I genuinely fear for us. And that's not me just saying, you know, putting it on. I actually think we could get beat. If they score in the first 20 minutes, I think it can be 3 or 4.
Well, and it's because of the super chat, Gene. Big up AK. He says Macca's comment shows there's a mentality issue.
There is. Right now, there is. He's been, but if I'm honest, he's been probably the worst player on the Liverpool pitch this season, McAllister. And, you know, and again, Ben, I'm his biggest fan. But
I am, lads. I love him. But I think he's the one that... Do you know what? I've said just before about the midfield situation. I understand you can't just tear it all up. I'd get rid of him. Bring like a demon in the midfield who's going to go forward tackling. And then assess it for another season. Any of them can't perform, fucking get rid of that one next as well. Do you know what I mean? Liverpool can't have a midfield of weakness. And this is why I will give credit to Arteta. He's sussed it out way before everyone else, and he's gone and bought. Mate, this is the problem that I have with our team. Arteta's now got the shitheads playing well, the likes of Trossard and stuff. The way Klopp used to get the Enrique scoring goals all the time. How's Marino scoring goals week after week? Lad, we can't even get goals from many of our fucking forwards, never mind midfielders. Do you know what I mean? So this is the thing, and I just think it comes from the manager down, unfortunately. As much as I don't want to say that, in any other job, if the team, if your office is underperforming, and that's what Slot's doing, he's got the team massively underperforming, it falls on him. It is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. There was one more super chat as well. That's Ali, isn't it? Big up Ali. Watch Avi come back and says Simon from Ecuador told him that the Ordonez deal has stalled because Liverpool have made a move for Guehi. Mari gal yaad rakhiye.
Remember what I said?
A bit of context. You watch the shows, don't you? Avi's got a friend. He met someone called Simon on the cruise. He was the biggest. He was the biggest.
Character, man. He's a character.
I'll tell you what, I have to say that sneeze on this show, mate. You had it on your WhatsApp, that cracked me up, that mate. I was laughing for about 10 minutes.
Oh my god. I heard something, lads. I want to share it with the chat as well. I was teasing him, but I did hear it, and that's why people are asking me in the chat, what's the bomber? I heard, and I don't know what you think about the player, lads. And we've been talking about the transfer targets this summer, and I think it sort of coincides with the rest of the likes of Schlotterbeck, the likes of Marc Guehi. I mentioned him a couple of weeks ago, maybe about a month ago. Mickey van der Ven. As far as I understand it, he is a legitimate target for Liverpool in the summer. Now, his contract length, I think, ends in 2029, but he's 24. Maybe his value in terms of not his financial value, but after the tackle on Isak, I don't know what he's thought of in the Liverpool corridors, but I think he was liked before he went to Tottenham. Well, as far as I know, he's a legitimate target for Liverpool this summer. Would you take him, Ben? Do you like him?
I think he's all right. The injuries are the worry, aren't they? He can't stay fit.
That's the biggest issue.
But then that probably is the perfect signing. You know what I mean? If you've got an injury record, come on, in you come. Look, he's a decent player. I don't know whether that's just. I think that for me that looks like a Slot signing. Personally, with the Dutch connection.
Yeah.
I think we've got to get out of the fact that we can't be having players who can't stay fit. This is what, when I go to the number 6, like, when people keep bringing up Wharton, he's the same, can't stay fit. And if you're going to be at Liverpool, you've got to play 3 big games a week. So you've got to be fit. And same with the centre-half. I think Mickey van der Ven is decent, but maybe is a 3rd, 4th choice, personally.
Well, how's his injuries been this season?
Not as bad this season, I don't think, Asim. 1 second, Van der Ven injuries.
Do you reckon can I just ask you a question though, Asim?
Of course.
With his injuries aren't as bad this year, do you reckon that's like a carbon copy of how Thomas Frank's got them playing? They're not running the extra yard this year, are they?
With the problem, I've never been, and Avi has been a big fan, and every time Thomas Frank has got a few good headlines, enjoying a bit of a purple patch with Brentford, and then I think he started quite well with Tottenham, didn't he? And he's always teasing me about he's doing well, but because he knows I've never been a great fan, and the reason why I've never been a great fan, with sides like Brentford and Palace, where you have to shut up shop most occasions, you have a set piece, a strength, physicality, and play on the break, the likes of Visser and Mbeumo as well when he was at the club. The biggest jump I feel like the coaches like Thomas Frank find at big clubs like Tottenham and Chelsea's, Liverpool's, the fans expect to play front foot football. And for me, and it's a completely different philosophy where you need to dominate games with the ball. That is what you call elite quality, elite coaching. For me, in my personal opinion, right now, I don't think he's proved it. And this is the reason why when I see a coach, I want them to have core principles with the ball. And I think that's the reason why he's struggled, where the fans at Tottenham, they've won one trophy in about 1 million years, but they want to see good football week in, week out. Look what the dross that we've been watching at Anfield and everywhere Liverpool play for the last month. And it feels like, we just don't want to turn the television on. in the last month or two because we've changed philosophy, but at what cost? We hardly create a chance, in my opinion. And like Gene says, you know, you can give me all the XG and all that sort of stuff, and Liverpool control the game. Control's important, but you need output as well. And you don't want to make the games 50-50 games, because when you do, you make them like the ones that we saw against Sunderland. If it wasn't for Chiesa, we would have lost that game as well. Reed, look, it was a screamer. You give them the chance, completely take that chance out of and win the game in the first 70, and then do your subs, and then, you know, sit off if you have to, and then you have to get a goal on the break. We can get a goal on the break because we've still got good players. The problem Liverpool have now is, and going back to Thomas Frank, is like, I've never thought that this guy can go to a top club and play that type of football and win. And that's one of the acid tests for those sort of thingies. But look, like we know, like United in the last 10 years, Tottenham, there's so many problems on and off the pitch. So it's a cutthroat business, isn't it? And if you don't get results within the first 3-4 months, you know, you're dead man walking, aren't you?
Gone. Yeah. I think the biggest thing that Tottenham did, they should never have got rid of that Pochettino. Never should have got rid of him. Yeah. And they fell into the same spiral as Man United. That's why they don't support the managers now. They're not asked, because they know they eventually just get sacked. And Liverpool have got to make sure that they have to get this next one right. It's got to be someone that's going to get this football club, mate. And that's all. That's how it's got to be. I always thought you know, I didn't like it when Slot said, I get it, but I mean, when he said, you know, my family aren't moving to Liverpool. They're staying there doing exams. And I was just thinking to myself, just fucking get them in Liverpool. They're never going to have a bigger job, your kids, than the one you've got right now. Like, fucking get them in the schools around ours. Get in with the culture. Because look, when Jurgen took the job, boys, you know, he took 2 jobs on, and one was being the manager of Liverpool, and the other was fucking getting bedded in with the city. And it was like we were like an army with him at the front. Yeah. Does this look like an army now with him at the front? No. And I'll be honest, mate, it's just going to get worse for him. If this carries on, mate, people will be despising him come the end of it, regardless if he's won a title, because at the end of the day, you know, Liverpool have to win. But they have to win well. And when Klopp said that on that Stephen Bartlett stuff, saying, they demand beautiful football. But look where we are right now. The football is dire. And you know this academy rift where people are talking about Slot and the academy, that's not a good look for him. Because we kind of know that he's got issues with the youth. But one of Klopp's mottos was when they get that, the acts are built, make sure it's right next to the Kirby, the academy. So, look, if Slot can't get used to, if he doesn't like the academy, he's got no future at Liverpool, because Liverpool's is born on utilising the academy. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the Steven Gerrards of the world. So, this kid is Chiesa and Rio are causing them issues now. The treatments of Chiesa and obviously the treatments of Rio, but he's obviously not going to play it when he's under the cosh.
Yeah. So, before we leave, okay, I think there was a few more super chats. Alex, always supporting from down under. What time is it, Alex? About 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe? I don't know. Stevie is Slot, is Kenny to Hodgson. Big up, Alex, always supporting the channel and the boys. Ali's back.
You've done this one.
Oh, I done this one, yeah. I didn't do this. What happens if we win, though? If we win Thursday, the beautiful game. If we win on Thursday, we're winning the league.
The trebles on.
The journey of a fan, The journey of a fan. Just before we go, man, we talked about, okay, you said you want a revamp in the midfield. I'm going to put you on the spot. What does a Ben midfield look like? If you had, I'm going to give you 200 million right now. What does a Ben midfield look like? If you want to get rid of them all, get rid of them. It's entirely up to yourself. But if you want physicality, if you want a team that plays your way, you've got 200 million pound to spend. How would it go?
It's difficult, isn't it? It's the names that the problem is, mate. The ones that the ideal player for me, I haven't really haven't seen anything new coming through. We made a big cock up when we didn't get that Caicedo over the line. That was a bad one. a bad one. I know people are talking up the Wharton one, but I just think
You've never been a fan of you reading your stuff on Twitter.
He's a decent player, Asim, but decent doesn't mean you're the Liverpool fit. You know, I think he needs his hand held out there. I think he'd be better off the side of like a Caicedo. Because I tell you what, do you know what, mate? It's different being at Palace compared to being at Liverpool. We are everybody's cup final. All they do is try and break our players' legs. Do you know what I mean? All these shitter sides. So, you know, of course, Wharton's going to look great against Liverpool and the cities when they're just knocking the ball around. But when we play all these shitter sides, like the Forests of the world, all they do is they come in 2-footed and everything. Do you know what I mean? And Liverpool need a proper Roy Keane type, you know, Steven Gerrard type of midfielder, you know, but in the 6. So that's, for me, the ideal would be get Gravenberch out of the 6. I think if you asked him where he wants to play, he'd rather be off the side. Try and mould him into a Declan Rice whereby he can go round battling on the pitch and attacking. Like, mate, he spends more time in other teams' boxes now than he does in our own box, and he's supposed to be the 6. Do you know what I mean? Anchored in front of the defence. And you can have Szoboszlai off the left if you have to. But, mate, in order to get the best out of Wirtz and the front line, because obviously we want some width as well, they're going to have to buy a top-draw centre defensive midfielder. For me, that's the priority going forward. I like all the shouts of Elliot Anderson, etc. But I think we need more than... We need a bigger profile than him. They've gone from the Schumannis, etc. How do you go to Elliot Anderson? You know, they need... I don't even see him as a proper 6. He's off the side. He looks a great player. But these young players would probably get swallowed up if they are told you're going in 3 games a week being Liverpool's number 6.
Yeah, well said. Right, boys, 1 hour 16. That was proper football talk. Proper football talk.
I
Ben,
really enjoyed that, you know.
Ben, what a debut, man. What a debut. We have to do it.
I wish we were winning, lads. I can't believe when we were talking about Liverpool like this. My head is fried.
Well, you've been frying eggs very, very soon because I think it's about 7 o'clock in the morning in Dubai, isn't it?
Okay, will be
Friday. Yeah. Ben, thank you so much. And once again, people, head over to Red or Live, show them the love, show them there's still 700 people, over 700 people at 11:30 on a Tuesday evening here. Make sure you head over to Red or Live, follow Ben on Twitter, wherever these guys are. And look, there's space for every single channel and content creator out there. And that's what Liverpool fans do. Head over and show them the love that you always shown us as well. So top show, like the people are saying in the chat. We will be back with a preview show tomorrow, predict your lineup and all that sort of stuff, because the big one and the big watch along is on Thursday as well. But until then, we'll catch you soon. Make sure you smash a like on the way out, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care and good night. Bye for now.